All right. So we are looking at BDA, and today I would want us to look at just the paper in general, and then we'll be able to come up with a structure which we'll be able to now follow for us to be able to revise intensively. So for today, we are just looking at the general structure. Now, my good students, what will happen for both the students who are doing CIFA and the CPA data analytics, this is what will be happening to you when you go to your exams. They would expect you to know lots of forecasting. Lots of forecasting, yes. Yeah. So for instance, if you are given data like this, just general information first. So if you are given data like this, and you are required here to prepare a forecasting model using regression analysis. If you're required to prepare a forecasting model or equation of the form y equals a plus bx, of the form y equals a plus bx plus b plus b x, like that, then what will you be able to do, my good students? So what you shall be able to do here, you will be able to, first of all, to remember that A stands for intercept, y-intercept. B stands for the slope. So it will be very important for you to know from the word go that A stands for the intercept and the B stands for what we call the coefficient or slope or gradient. It's very important for you to know that from the word go. So then when they tell you to come up with a regression model, what they would expect you to do first of all is to get the values of A and B. So let's get the values of A and B. How do we do this? Not get the values of A and B. How do we do this? Not manually. So remember, this question was tested in, this is December 2023. December 2023. All right. So then how do we go about this? It's very, very easy. So what you need to do is to come and click data, the data tab on your ribbon, and then you go to data analysis. Go to data analysis, right? Yeah, you go to data analysis. So go to data analysis. Once you click on data analysis, you'll be able to see this data analysis toolpack. Yeah, it has so many tools to get covariance, descriptive statistics, exponential smoothing. So in this case here, roll until you get this regression here. You click on regression. Click on regression. Yeah. And once you click on regression, then say okay. Say okay. So once you are here, ladies and gentlemen, then you'll be able to get quite a lot. So in this case here, first of all, we start with there. Of course, this will come as empty. This is a solution. Yeah. So then in this case here, they would want you to give them the input Y range. For BDA, very many students, ladies and gentlemen, very many students, ladies and gentlemen, get it wrong whenever it comes to defining Y and X. And the moment you confuse between the two, then automatically you'll get 0 in the entire question. My good students, please listen and listen to me very well. Remember, Y is supposed to be the response variable. Always, Y is supposed to be the response variable. Response variable. Y is supposed to be the response variable or the dependent variable. Please don't confuse this when you get your exam. Or the dependent variable. So this is the one that depends on the other or the others. This is the one that depends on the other or the others. So, ladies and gentlemen, please listen. When we talk over, ladies and gentlemen, please listen. When we talk over dependent variable, if you are given, for example, something like this, if you are given maize output versus rainfall. Could you kindly tell me which one depends on the other one? Is it true that rainfall depends on the output of maize? my good students? Is it true that rainfall depends on maize? Thank you, Susan. Yeah, thank you, Sylvia. It is the output of maize which depends on what year rainfall. So you're right. So then in that case here, the dependent, the one that depends on the other one, will be the y variable. So in that case here, we are saying that therefore maize, of course, in this case here, given that maize depends on rainfall, this automatically means that maize is the y variable. Maize is the y variable. Please don't confuse this. Maize is the y variable. Yeah. How about this, my good students? Your sales, or rather advertising costs versus sales. Which one depends on the other? Which one depends on the other? Advertising versus sales. Which one depends on the other? If you have the two variables already, great. Yeah. So in this case here, advertising is a predictor. The more you advertise, the more you trigger your sales. So sales depends on advertisement. You're right. Sales depends on advertisement. Great. So on the same breath, don't confuse this, because I've always seen students telling me, Mwalimu, they brought that question of regression. I will get everything. But when results are released, we get again some of them failing in this paper because they confused. Instead of them getting like this, they get like this because they confused the variables. So like in this particular case of December 2023, my good students here, between production cost and quantities, which one do you think depends on the other? Which one depends on the other? Which one depends on the other? Which one depends on the other? Automatically, production cost will depend on quantity. Yeah, because the higher the quantities you produce, you expect the production cost to shoot up. So production cost depends on quantity, the quantity you produce. Yeah. So production cost automatically becomes our Y. Production cost becomes our Y. Yeah. So up to there, ladies and gentlemen, somehow, are we together somehow? Are we together somehow, ladies and gentlemen, up to there? Thank you so much. Because if you confuse the two, because 50% plus of the students who do this paper will always confuse those variables for some reasons. Many think that the moment you see the first one, that the first one should always be X. It's not always the case. Your examiner will always want to twist you. So it will be very, very important for you to have those variables correctly. Now that we have the variables correctly, let's start again. And do you have these past paper of December 2023? Question number 23. Do you have this paper? Have you been able to produce it? BDA December 2023. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, then I want us to come and now do this into a regression model. Convert this into a regression model. So how do we do this? So please click on the data tab. Click on the data tab. Once you click on this data tab, then you'll be able to see this data analysis toolpack. When you click this data analysis toolpack, then you'll be able to see very many tools, but I'm interested in the regression analysis. So this regression analysis is what I click on, and then I come and say here, okay. So once I say, okay, my great students, then what I will do here, I will come here, ladies and gentlemen, and input the Y variable. Remember, you're the ones who have told me Y variable is the production cost. So come here, click on the title, click on the label, Then of course you say Control Shift, you take this down with the down arrow. Yeah. You come and do the same for the input X. So X, you start by clicking on the label, then using your left hand, you mention their Control Shift, you hold on to them permanently down. And then using the 4 navigation arrows, you click on the down arrow. And then ensure that, ladies and gentlemen, you have labels. These labels must be checked because you have taken in labels, you've taken in titles, Then ensure that confidence level has been also checked, is ticked here. The other thing that most students forget, you know, if the examiner tells you that you are doing all this at 90% confidence interval, not 95, you know, 95 is the default. So if they tell you it's 90% confidence interval, you must come and change inside here. Yeah, you must come and change inside here. You write like that 90. So if you're given confidence interval, don't forget to change here. And then there is also something else. You know, I've done this paper for so long. There is also something else that so many guys forget. Ladies and gentlemen, if, for example, somebody tells you that the level of significance is 20%, if somebody tells you the level of significance is 20%, what will you write inside here? If you're told the level of significance is 20%, what will you write inside there? What will you write inside there? Thank you so much. Remember, confidence interval plus level of significance must always be equal to 1. Confidence interval, I repeat, and I expect you to write this. Let me just help you here by writing in the charts. Ladies and gentlemen, my good students, we are saying that CI plus, in this case here, significance level, plus significance level, plus significance level, plus significance level must always be equal to 1, such that if they tell me that my SL, my significance level, is 5%, if they tell me that my significance level is 5%, then my CI will be equal to 95%, like that, because the two must add up to 100% or the two must add up to 1. So if they tell me that my significance level is 20%, then the confidence interval or confidence level will be 80%. So up to there, ladies and gentlemen, are we together? Of course, we can never like be 100% together, but somehow, are we clicking? Are we clicking somehow? Great. Thank you so much. Because those are the common pitfall areas. If you come and confuse and just pick this thing, because automatically here, they'll always be giving you 90%, 95%. That is the default. But you need to know how to change here. Then they'll come and ask you, where do you want to put this output of yours? Never select this sheet. No, don't put it here. Yeah, just have it as per the default. Take it to the new worksheet. Take it to the new worksheet. So if you're okay, and again, you never check this constant of 0. Don't say the constant is 0. No. We have A. So come and say okay. So when you say okay, what is happening? They have given you this summary output. So is there somebody who has been able to reach where we have reached? If you have been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached, are you able to share your screen? Then we compare notes. We see whether you have been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached. Please compare. Let's compare notes by you sharing your screen. Yeah, share your screen, and then we get to see whether you have reached where Mwalimu has reached. And by any chance, is there anybody who does not have this data analysis tool pack? By any chance, is there anybody who doesn't have this data analysis tool pack? We assisted them. Taegong, thank you so much for coming in fast. Great, thank you so much. I love this. This is really good, really good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now you can drop the screen. Thank you so much. Now you can drop the screen. Now you can drop the screen. Thank you so much. Now you can drop the screen. No problem. So let's, in this case here, okay, great. So yeah, the file I'm using, it's in your past paper, December 2023, question number 23. December 2023, question number 23. Somebody can be able to share this. So they want me to pardon, I'll be able to pardon. That is my work. All right. Thank you so much. I'll be able to repeat. Yeah. So let me repeat here pretty fast. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I come back here. Question number 23, it's here. So we start again. So ensure that when you click your data here, you have this data analysis toolpack. When you click your data, you have the data analysis toolpack. So you'll be able to, so all of us, do we have this data analysis tool pack? All of us, Kelvin, do we have the data analysis tool pack? All of us, do we have the data analysis tool pack? No problem. So Rose, I can see you don't have it. Amol, you don't have it, no problem. Please go to File. Come to File, go to File, click File. Then in this case here, look for options. So in my case, I can't see options here. So I need to come and say More. And then I go to these options. You go to Options. So when you are in the Options area, you want to add. You want to add, it's an add-in because you don't have the data. You want to add here. So you say add-ins. So when you say add-ins, you want, in this case here, add-ins, you simply say go to here. Add-ins, simply say go to like that. So once you say go to, then you'll be able to get this pop-out window. Ensure that you are clicking this, check this, tick this, analysis toolpack. And then you say, okay. So once you say, okay, then you'll be able to see this data analysis toolpack coming. Those ninjas who never had the data analysis toolpack, are you able now to see it? The ninjas who never had a data analysis toolpack, are you able to see it live now? Are you able to see it live now? We normally use this for so many things. Kezaya, yes. Aha. Great. Thank you so much. Great. So then we continue. So then come and click this. And again, remember we have agreed that production cost is Y, quantity is X. We have agreed. So click on your data analysis tool pack. There are very many tools. Please follow along with this. You can always go with this. Go with this. So you click on regression. You click on regression because you want regression here. Mine here is empty. I mean, it's full, so I need to come and empty because I've already done the question. I've already done the question. So then come and input the Y. So you click on the Y. Y is the production cost. Click on the title. And then now I want to highlight. The easiest way of highlighting this is to press Control Shift. You press Control Shift down, and then you press down arrow. You press down arrow. Yeah. Then you go straight away and then put the X. So put this here. You go to quantities, the X now. Then simultaneously, using my left hand, I want to highlight everything. Control Shift. There are those 4 navigation keys. So you say in this case here, down arrow. All right. So then ensure that you tick the labels here. Because you have picked the labels, so you tick the labels and you tick the confidence interval. The confidence interval, you shall be able to work with what the examiner has told you to work with. Yeah, if the examiner is silent, we should always work with 95% because in mathematics, we should always assume, not unless we are told, we shall always assume that the level of significance is 5%. And then that is it, nothing else. You simply come and say, okay here. Simply come and say, okay there. So once you say, okay, this is where you check whether you're right. You can see we have 95%, 95%. Very, very important. 95%, 95%, lower and upper. Now then, how do you interpret this table? This table will help me to really, first of all, check the significance of the model. How valid the model is, how valid the model is, how valid the model is. So if, for example, I start with the ANOVA table, ANOVA is analysis for variances, analysis of variances. So if I start with the ANOVA table, ladies and gentlemen, then what will I be able to, first of all, use this ANOVA table for? I'll be able to check 2 things. I'll be able to check, in this case here, the F calculated. F calculated. So the F calculated is this one here. Yeah. So the F calculated we have here, it is, in this case here, this one here. This F that the system has calculated for you. You pick it. So you compare this with the significant F. Significant F. Significant F. So this significant F, I can see it here, ladies and gentlemen. I can see my significant F here. I can see my significant F here. I can see my significant F here, my good students. The significant F is here. This number is really, really small. When you see 3.5 exponent raised to a negative, this is 0.000000035. This is a very, very small number. Actually, you're supposed to write 8 zeros, remember. So you're supposed to write here 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you write that 35, 35. And then you come in between the first two zeros. In between the first two zeros, you put what here? You put a decimal like that. So then this significant F is what we call the hurdle rate. Hurdle rate. Hurdle rate means that, a hurdle, if you have ever seen people run these relays, yeah, we have relays where we have, in this case, a hurdle, Kiswahili nasema, kuruka v something, yeah. So if in this case here, you are able to jump over that hurdle, then you are strong. You are a good candidate in this case here. You are a good Maradona, right? So anytime you have your F calculated being more than this figure, like now this is really big. This is really big. So the F calculated is more than the significant F. F calculated is more than, by far, more than significant, more than the significant F. The moment you just hit this figure in terms of F, then the model is significant. The model is big enough. But right now here, it is even much bigger. So the F calculated is more significant. This then means that, ladies and gentlemen, this means what here? This basically means that the model is very good, is very good for prediction purposes. The model is very good for prediction purposes. The model is very good for prediction purposes. I never said that. I started with this. I should have put, yeah. It means that the model is very good for prediction. What here? For prediction purposes. So whenever this F calculated, the one that is written here, just F, whenever it is bigger than this, it means that the model is really good for prediction purposes. Now remember, these regression models, we had some time back, even last year, but one, when we had these firms like Synovate coming, telling us that, you know what, Raila Odinga will become the president. Yeah, they were doing predictions, and they have done that severally. Like I remember during Mwai Kibaki, they kept on telling us Raila is going to become the president. So he never got. So in this case here, will you go blaming the model? Or in this case here, why is vote stolen? Yeah, if you go blaming the research firm, the research firm will come and tell you that, you know what, we gave you a 95% confident interval, yeah, prediction. There is what we call a margin of error. So you can't really take them anywhere. And that is why later on, I'll be telling you that there is a difference between what we call a point estimate and a confidence interval. Because confidence interval, you're not guaranteeing people, never guarantee anybody. Once you finish here and you become a data analyst, so people will be coming to your office, they'll be asking you like Safaricom search price next week will be how much? It will be foolhardy if you start telling people that come next week, the Safaricom share will be trading at 30 exactly. No, you can't give up a point estimate. You have to give a range. Tell these people that this share could either be between 20 and 29. And even this one, I'm not comfortable to give you 100% assurance. I'm only giving you, in this case here, what here, a confidence interval that is a margin of error, like that. So the first thing that you need to know is how do we assess the model for prediction accuracy. The whole model, you use the F statistic. So we have the F calculated shall always be bigger than the F statistic. So up to there, first of all, are we together? Are we together somehow up to there? Are we okay? All right. All right. And remember, in this case here, once, ladies and gentlemen, you get, ladies and gentlemen, like a lower F significance, not F, when F calculated is low, than F significance, then that model is useless. Don't use it for prediction. You will get very erroneous predictions. Now we move on. We move on, ladies and gentlemen. All right. No, I've picked a wrong one here. All right. Question 23. Oui. No, not this one. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, you have to really be good. I repeat, okay. Let me repeat, ladies and gentlemen. Let me repeat, ladies and gentlemen. Let me repeat, ladies and gentlemen, here. All right. Yeah, this is the paper here. Now, this is really fairly straightforward. It should not scare you at all. It is really straightforward because what you're supposed to do is to look for this F. Is this F bigger than the hurdle? If this F is more than this number, then that model is significant, extremely significant because it's really high. Now, from there, ladies and gentlemen, this ANOVA is also very important in some other ways, which I'll be able to show you. But for now, this will help us to test the model as a whole. Now, come to these coefficients. So now here we have what we call coefficients. For coefficients, what are we supposed to know? So many things. I need my T here to be really high. I need my T to be really high, more than what we call the T critical, more than what we call the T critical, more than what we call the T critical. T critical, we shall be able to read the T critical from the tables. I'll be able to show you how you do that. But even before I go to the T critical, we have this p-value. P-value is a free mark. P-value stands for what we call probability value. Probability value. And this probability value is probability of having the predictions falling in the error margins. In the error margins. Yeah, the smaller it is, the p-value. The smaller it is, the better. The smaller it is, the better the model. The better the model. Or the smaller they are because there are many, the p-values here. Ideally, p-values should be smaller than the level of significance. Should be smaller than the level of significance for the model to be excellent for prediction. Very important for me to understand that. Now, let me ask you, my good students, a question. In this particular question of mine that I'm doing, what is the level of significance? What is the level of significance, my good students, in this question that I'm doing? What is the level of significance? What is the level of significance? Somebody try. What is the level of significance in this question? It is 5%, isn't it? Because I can see the confidence interval is 95%. And I told you confidence interval plus significance level will always be equal to 1. Will always be equal to 1 or 100%. So in this case here, our level of significance, we normally call it SL, equals 0.05. So you ask yourself, like now this figure that we have here, the p-value, the first p-value that we have here, is it less than 0.05? The first one. the first one. Is it less than 0.05? Oh, yeah, Malone. Oh, yeah, Malone. Is it less than 0.05? Oh, yes. Even this second one of 0.0000, small one, 35, it is still less than 0.05. So our p-values are less than 0.05. Our p-values are less than 0.05. 0.05. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the model is excellent, for prediction purposes. For prediction purposes. Of course, when I repeat this, you'll be able to understand it better. For now, I just want to do like a high-level excavation. When I come now next time, because as you said, you're going to have these division classes often, all right? But when are you going to start your leave days? I would want to know when you're going to start your leave days, because I always recommend my students to take leave days, especially the last days to the exam. The last days to the exam, my students shall always have some leave days that they preserve for purpose of doing intensive, low-hanging revisions. Even if it's 3, 4, 5 days, don't tell me that you don't have any leave days. Don't tell me that you don't have any. The only leave day I have is for doing exams. Caroline, okay. Next week, great. Already on leave. You can see this ninja is already on leave from 10th. That will be very good. From 10th will be very good. That's like a whole week. Actually, more than a week. The last week, Nancy and Juki is very, very good. Very, very good. Amina with the 𝐻𝐅𝐅𝐄𝐑𝐄𝐒, that means disaster. Or the data tools, okay. I don't have, okay. We shall overcome. No worries. So as I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, here, but again, you guys, we have to agree on one thing. You know me, I'm coming to revise. Had you guys done this topic in class? Have you guys done this topic in class? Yes or no? Because we have to agree. Me, I'm coming to revise. Or you haven't done it? I see now. Yes, now I'm confused. Yes, but I came with nothing. Okay. We have some of us have read ahead. Oh, okay. Morning class. Yes. Starting today. Okay. Evening, not yet. So I think then I'm really jumping the gun, which is really sad. But is there a problem if I just let me just take you through very fast? Let me take you through very, very fast. No worries at all. I'm never worried. Never ever worried. I'm never ever worried. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. So remember, we are doing question number 23. But now, later on, I'll be able to interpret this multiple R squared. Very, very important. So we come here to question number 23, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one that I'm doing, and they want me to carry out what we call regression analysis. How do we do this? It's very easy. What you need to do is to come. I'm so sure now most of you don't have this data analysis tool. We don't have this data analysis tool. So come here, click here, and then straight away you go to options. So go to files, please. Go to files here, and then you go to options. Like now you can see I don't have options here, but you see there is more. So this more, when I click on the more, I'll be able to see the options there. When I say options, I'll be able to have here add-ins, because I want to add in something on my tab, on my data tab. So I say add-ins. When I say add-ins, I don't have to read this at all. I just need to come and say go away, go. When I say go, you can see here we have these tools. So we tick this analysis toolpack. The analysis toolpack for regression. Then you say in this case here, okay. So let's agree first of all, whether all of us are now able to see the data analysis toolpack here. Are we able to see the data analysis toolpack now for the evening students? Are you able to see the data analysis toolpack? Abracadabra. Yeah, somebody should be able to help Veronica. Oh, the confidence level has gone to 99%. Is that the trust you guys give me? It's a very high level of trust. Great. Okay. Then I need to pull up my socks. I need to come often. That's a high level of trust. That's a high level of trust. That is a high level of trust. That's a high level of trust. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen and listen to me very well. Whenever it comes to regression analysis, this really is the easiest topic, remember. This is the easiest topic, remember. So what are we supposed to do? Once you are able to get this data analysis tool, if it is here, click it. And then now you come, there are many tools, eh? There are very, very many tools. So you come here and they say regression. You click on regression, then say, okay. Say, okay. Now, once you say, okay, ladies and gentlemen, now you need to know, of course, we have agreed that quantities are X and production costs are Y. So we have agreed. So come here, ladies and gentlemen, and fill this. So now we want the input range. So what do we do with the input Y range? Put in this Y. You can even come and highlight this manually like that. I've taken this wrongly. It's not supposed to be there. No, that's wrong. Let me come here under Y. Yeah. So start here by clicking the label and then you do like that. Great. Then you come to input range. So the input range, you come here. You move down like that. All right. Once you do that, don't forget to tick labels because this is not ticked. So always remember to tick labels. Also tick confidence interval. So you can see they have the 95% confidence interval like that. And then now you say, okay. You say, okay. Then you'll be able to get these things here, ladies and gentlemen, that then I don't want to interpret today until your mwalimu does that. So I would want to end this session, ladies and gentlemen, here and now. And then, of course, I would expect to see you. I hope you'll have done something by tomorrow. You'll have done something by tomorrow so that I come to revise. I normally revise. I don't want to come and teach. Otherwise, it has been a pleasure hosting you tonight. I never left somebody going by the name Mapenzi Johanna. Oh, okay. This must be a Swahili, a person from Mombasa. Great. Thank you so much. Be blessed big time. Be blessed big time. It's too early, Amor, to talk about that. It is too early. It is too early. Thank you and bye. Yeah. And of course, the ninjas who are following me on YouTube, you need to subscribe. It is Joshua Aura on YouTube. It has 70,000. Yes, at least you have picked something. It's good to know you have picked something. Thank you so much. You've picked something. Thank you so much.